Every chatbot you've talked to, every AI image you've seen, every self-driving demo, every breakthrough, every billion-dollar startup racing to build artificial intelligence. Almost all of it runs on hardware made by a single company. Not Google, not Microsoft, not OpenAI, a company that for most of its life made graphics cards for video games. In the summer of 2025, Nvidia did something no company in history had ever done. It became worth $4 trillion, passing Apple, passing Microsoft, becoming the most valuable company on Earth. Months later, it crossed $5 trillion, the first company ever to do it. But here's the strange part. Nvidia didn't win the AI race by predicting it. It won by building the perfect weapon for a war it didn't know was coming, and then getting incredibly lucky about who showed up to fight. This is the story of how a company built for gamers accidentally became the most important company in the world, and why, even now, almost no one can take its place. It started, as the legend goes, in a Denny's. In 1993, 3 engineers, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem, sat in a booth in San Jose, California, and founded a company with $40,000 and one idea: that the future of computing would be visual. That one day, machines would need to draw entire worlds in real time. They were building for video games. For years, that's exactly what Nvidia was, a gaming hardware company. In 1999, it released a product it called the GeForce 256 and made a bold marketing claim that this was the world's first GPU, a graphics processing unit. That same year, Nvidia went public. Now here's what made a GPU different. A normal computer chip, a CPU, is like a brilliant professor. It solves one hard problem at a time, very fast. A GPU is the opposite. It's thousands of ordinary students, all doing simple math at the same time. For drawing graphics, where every pixel on the screen needs the same calculation at once, that approach is perfect. For everything else, it seemed like a niche, a specialty tool for gamers. Then, in 2006, Nvidia made a decision that, at the time, looked almost reckless. It released something called CUDA, software that let anyone use an Nvidia gaming card, not just to draw graphics, but to run any kind of math they wanted. Scientists, researchers, anyone with a problem that could be split into thousands of small pieces. It was expensive to build. It made the chips more complicated. And for years, hardly anyone needed it. Wall Street questioned why Nvidia was pouring money into a feature its core customers, gamers, would never use. Nvidia was building a key. The problem was, nobody had found the lock yet. The lock appeared in 2012, and almost no one noticed. That year, a small team of researchers entered a competition called ImageNet, a contest to see whose software could best recognize objects in photographs. For years, progress had been painfully slow. Computers were bad at telling a dog from a cat. Then, a system called AlexNet entered, and it didn't just win. It demolished the competition, slashing the error rate so dramatically that the entire field of artificial intelligence was stunned. Their secret weapon? 2 Nvidia gaming graphics cards. The researchers had realized something profound. The kind of math that powers a neural network, the foundation of modern AI, is almost exactly the same kind of math that draws video game graphics. Thousands of simple calculations all at once. The exact thing GPUs were built to do. And because of CUDA, that reckless software bet from 2006, they could actually program those gaming cards to do it. This was the moment everything quietly changed. Nvidia had spent 15 years building the world's best engine for parallel math, believing it was for entertainment. It turned out to be the engine artificial intelligence had been waiting for. The deep learning revolution had begun, and it ran on Nvidia. Now ask the obvious question. If GPUs are so valuable for AI, why didn't everyone just build their own? Because by the time the world realized what was happening, Nvidia wasn't selling chips anymore. It was selling an entire kingdom. This is the part most people miss. Nvidia's real advantage isn't only the silicon, it's CUDA, and everything built on top of it. For over 15 years, an entire generation of AI researchers learned their craft using Nvidia's software. The tools, the libraries, the shortcuts, the tutorials, the whole language of modern AI was written for Nvidia hardware. Imagine a competitor builds a chip that's faster and cheaper. It doesn't matter much if none of the world's software is written to run on it. A rival would have to convince millions of developers to abandon the tools they've used their entire careers and start over. That's the moat, not a faster chip, a world that's already built around yours. Economists have a name for this: lock-in. Nvidia spent a decade and a half, almost by accident, making itself impossible to leave. For years, this was a quiet success, profitable, impressive, but still mostly known to researchers and gamers. Then, in late 2022, the world met ChatGPT. Overnight, artificial intelligence stopped being a lab experiment and became a global obsession. Every major technology company on Earth realized the same thing at the same time. Whoever builds the best AI wins the future. And to build AI, you need an enormous amount of computing power, which meant you needed Nvidia. What followed was one of the most extreme demand shocks in business history. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, and a wave of startups began spending tens of billions of dollars, buying every Nvidia AI chip they could get. There weren't enough to go around. Companies waited in line. Access to Nvidia's top chips became one of the most valuable resources in technology. The numbers tell the story. Nvidia's revenue for its 2024 fiscal year hit nearly $61 billion, up roughly 126% in a single year, driven almost entirely by demand for AI chips in data centers. By some estimates, Nvidia came to control around 80 to 90% of the entire market for AI accelerators. The gaming company was now the arms dealer of the AI age, and every army needed its weapons. The market responded the way markets do when they sense a company has captured the future. They poured in. In July 2025, Nvidia became the first company in history to reach a $4 trillion valuation, surpassing Apple and Microsoft to become the most valuable public company on the planet. And it didn't stop. Later that year, it crossed $5 trillion. Another first. To put that in perspective, a company that started in a diner with $40,000 was now worth more than the entire economies of most countries. And Jensen Huang, the man in the booth in 1993, still wearing his signature black leather jacket, had become one of the most powerful people in the global economy. Not because he sold a product everyone uses directly, but because he sold the thing that everything else now depends on. Nvidia had become infrastructure. invisible, essential, and almost unavoidable. So, why should you care about a chip company you may never buy from directly? Because the entire future the world is now betting on. Artificial intelligence in your phone, your work, your medicine, your cars, currently runs through the factories and chips of a single company. That's an extraordinary amount of power concentrated in one place. And that's also the quiet risk hiding inside this triumph. When one company becomes this essential, the whole industry's progress is tied to its decisions, its supply, and its prices. Governments are watching. Competitors, from giant tech companies building their own chips to rivals overseas, are spending fortunes trying to break the moat. And Nvidia's sky-high value now depends on the AI boom continuing exactly as promised. The same lock-in that makes Nvidia unstoppable today is the thing the entire technology world is racing to escape. Which brings us back to where we started. Nvidia didn't win the AI race by seeing the future. It won by spending 15 years building a key and being the only company holding it when the world finally found the lock. The real question now isn't whether Nvidia is the most important company in the AI race. It's whether anyone will ever be allowed to build a second key.